Hey friends, I'm Fernie, aka Friend the Human.
And I'm Slappa, aka Slappa.
And this is Vibes and Delights. Well, I was hoping that this would be the next episode in our new place, but it does not seem to be going that way. It's a rainy day. I'm hoping that means good news for us in the coming week, but I've got to tell you guys, I'm not as happy as I really could be right now. I'm really tired. You could probably see it in my posting that I'm just kind of out of it, not really there. And I just wanted to tell you guys that, like, we're just kind of really going through it. We got a place that we really, really wanted. Everything was going great. Everything came back. The background checks came back. The credit checks came back. The work came back. Everything was checked off perfectly until my housing where I live, started to get involved. First, they didn't respond at all. Then, when I finally got somebody to respond almost a week later, then they didn't respond to the emails, and it's been about 2 days and I haven't heard anything. And so I'm very, very upset because everything was going fine until my housing got involved. This is the same housing that they started repairing the roof without advising the tenants. Like, we just woke up on a Friday at 7
To like
a.m.
machine
to no
guns.
to people stomping on the roof, to people putting ladders. Like, there's a wall in front of me. There, people were putting ladders on this wall, which our rooms upstairs are on this wall. So we literally woke up to people slamming ladders onto the wall and climbing up. Like, I could hear them pulling themselves up. No notice. None. And even the guy was confused as to why our cars were still there. Like, the contractor was confused why we were confused. You know what I'm saying? This is the same place where on my rental history, I have paid religiously, on time, all the time. Twice I have missed, and twice I have gotten the okay, and I have it in writing. Okay? Twice, and they're going to try and do this to me. They're trapping me here, and that's what it feels like. I really, really hope that on Tuesday that it really isn't like this. And I'm so sorry that I started the episode like just on a downer. Really, it just sucks because my fear was that, my legal name is 10 letters long, and I know people discriminate black people in their names. So my biggest fear has always been that I'm going to get discriminated against before they even see me because of my name. Then I was worried that Sapa might have something on his background, or Sapa is not working presently right now, so then we might not get it. And then it turns out that the people who are holding me back are the people that I rent with. That's so fucking frustrating. Like, I'm frustrated. But y'all will know. Y'all will be some of the first people to know when we get a house, because you're probably going to get a video of me getting into a house and just crying on the floor. Okay, that's probably what you're gonna see, and when you see that, blow that shit up, okay? Because it was a long time coming. We've been searching for months. We finally found exactly what we, well, not exactly what we wanted, but we finally found what we wanted that would work for our family, and this happens. It's like I'm
It
tired.
feels like looking for a job. Like I've been looking for a job like a year and a half.
You know what it really is? You remember that Risa Tisa situation?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like, the story, like, she was going to get a BMW or, like, some sort of BMW SUV, and he was like, oh, yeah, let's go look for a car today. And then it would, like, not work out properly. And so she went and got her own car. It's like the constant raising of the hopes and the constant letting it fall out your ass. That's what's the problem. It wouldn't be so bad. It's the rejection, like you're looking for a job, just like what you said. It's just getting our
It's
hopes up.
it's
And
crazy that like looking and finding a place to live is hard. You know? Like we have the money to pay for it. We've been paying rent. We can rent another place. Why is it so hard to contact people and get it going to move into a place. Like, it's overly complicated for no reason other than to make people money.
And it's so complicated that it opens people up to get scammed.
Exactly.
Like we almost got
We
scammed.
almost got scammed
Like
because we were so desperate after like 5 places that we wanted to go and try to get into. As soon as we tried to get into them, oh, someone's put a deposit down.
right. And so we thought that's what we were supposed to do.
Right.
We it is like it's just disgusting how the system preys on people. Like I just all I want is just one step up. That's it. Like I've been working all year just for one step up. Like you know that show like what is it? Moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Also, karaoke night is coming as soon as we move, okay? But I'm just saying, but like I just want to know what that is. The Jeffersons Slappa tells me. But like I just when I was a kid, okay, my parents lived in Carrollton, okay, and we lived off Trinity Mills. Off Trinity Mills. I'm gonna tell you exactly where it is because I don't fucking live there, and I'm not gonna live there. So like in Carrollton, Texas, off Trinity Mills in Carrollton, okay. There's off of Josie Lane, okay. There's like some train tracks around there, and there's like there's some apartments that are like right next to those train tracks, and then there's like a building, a brown building, or it used to be brown, and it was like an old banking office, I'm pretty sure like a corporate office right there in Carrollton off of President George Bush Highway. I used to fly kites where the highway is, you know what I'm saying? And it was the fucking hood. Like it was a rinky dink apartment, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it was nice for the 90s, you know what I'm saying? But it was what it was, a rinky dink apartment, okay? It was a 2-bedroom apartment that I had to share a room with my sister who was 9 years older than me. It was a rinky dink apartment. It was what my parents could afford at the time. But then when I was like like maybe 8 or 9, my parents moved to Louisville, Texas, to a really nice apartment that's like a 3-bedroom apartment, and it was great, and everything was fine until my mom started having knee problems, and then that's when they started building a house. And of course, I'm pretty sure my dad was tired of paying rent and wanted to own something, of course, but it's just like my parents, like I'm literally in that place where my parents were. My children are about the same age. I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life at this job. I'm finally in like a somewhat leadership role at my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything right. I paid off my card. I have good credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it right. Why is this so hard? I just want a piece of the pie. I guess that's really all I was wanted to say. But I wanted to give you guys an update because it's really just been wearing on me. Every single day I wake up hoping, and I'm trying not to lose hope.
Fernie's biggest character flaw is she has no patience.
Yes,
So this is like
I'm a fire sign.
ultimate torture for her. We just have to wait and see what they say. And we haven't heard from our landlord. We can't really talk to the property management because they're lazy as fuck and low key kind of like sketch. And
Which is the other thing is like a bunch of us kids, like when my friend, well, she's not my friend anymore, but when my childhood friend, when we were all growing up, her dad was a realtor. So whenever we were older, a lot of us called him to find a place to live. You know what I'm saying? So like whenever it was our time, we never had any issues until recently. You know what I'm saying? But like we had an emergency. That was when Slappa and I were moving here. The reason why we moved here is because of his sister and the incident of my pregnancy. That's why we moved here. Like we were living in that house after the fact, but then the spouse started to unfortunately lose everything, and then they had a mental episode, and we had to leave. We didn't have a choice. There was a that there was harm that was trying to be caused. And I'm so glad that they worked through it. But we had to leave. So we had to get where we could. And so that's where we are now. And I just want to do better. I just want my children to have their own room like I did. It's going to be okay.
It will be okay. Um, we're going to be here living no matter what happens. It just sucks a lot not knowing if you're going to have a house, you know?
Yeah.
Housing insecurity.
And I like really feel like I've got some housing insecurity right now because they gave us a renewal, but it seems like they're willing to work with us now. So they didn't so they said we want you to leave, but then also
We're not gonna
force
you to
you.
leave.
We're also not gonna force you because I probably haven't found anybody to take the space yet.
Right.
You know, and it's just like unfair. And this is our society now. All right. Well,
Enough of that.
I just wanted to give y'all an update.
Let's ignore our life problems and talk about other people's problems. There's a ghost! Did you see it? Oh. Dang. The ghost got you? You okay?
I've been possessed.
Grab your vibes and delights.
If you haven't already.
And let's keep going.
So much like what we're going through, chaos. Okay, so we're gonna read some chaotic ass stories. Okay, like Slappa send me this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put a trigger warning on it because what the fuck is this? Okay, my coworker's wife thought we were having an affair because I made him and their kids dinner, and it's changed how I look at myself. This story is tragic, okay? It hurt my feelings because we are nice people. And I could see some shit like this happening to us, like honestly. Grab your vibes and your delights. Join the Discord. Show me your pets. And let's jump into the story. Several months ago, my coworker, 44 male, Matt, wife, Mary, 39 female, had to go back to her home country to deal with her mother's declining health and later funeral and estate stuff. They knew that she'd be gone for a while, but they didn't know how long exactly. Matt was left with their 3 kids, 4, 8, 12, and pretty much started struggling immediately. We work full time, 10 plus hours a day, and he went from being part of a partnership to essentially being a single parent overnight. Mary works at the same job, but in a higher position in another area. Okay. He handled most of it fine, but shopping and making dinner gave him a lot of trouble. He could handle breakfast, the church, day camps, schools, handled lunch, but he was struggling with dinner and finding time to get all the shopping done between picking kids up and getting them home or extracurriculars. I, 25 female, felt bad for the guy, so I made a deal with him. I worked for a catering company pre-COVID, so I have a very easy time cooking a lot of food at once and usually do that for myself. I'll make one big batch of food and have it every day for lunch or dinner or whatever. I told Matt that if he paid for my groceries and gas on top of his, I'd do the shopping and cook their dinners for the week, especially because she makes more than him. His wife is like a higher up. Hell yeah, he better. At some point, the 12-year-old asked if he could watch me make dinner and then if he could help, so I started teaching him the basics, which, to be honest, I kind of think he should have already known. Right, we're teaching our kids how to cook and they're like 9 and 10, so like we're like trying to get caught up here. And he posted pictures of it all online. I started taking him shopping with me so he could help pick things out, and he started packing everyone's lunches. It was really cute. Well, apparently his mom saw pictures of it, and in some of it featured me talking to his dad, and she got the wrong impression. She messaged me on social media confronting me about the affair.
Damn.
I was pretty pissed, but I kept my cool. I asked her if he'd ever been unfaithful before, and she said no. That's exactly how I'd handle it too. My gosh. I asked her if she'd suspected him before, and she said no. And I asked if she had really thought he was stupid enough to bring his affair partner home to meet his children and to let his own son post pictures of it all online. Again, no. I even offered to let her look at my phone when she got home from her trip. And at that point, I think she realized how ridiculous the idea was, and she called me over Facebook and started crying and apologizing. Now, granted, I don't blame her for getting the wrong idea. I just think she went to the wrong person about it.
Right.
Why didn't her husband tell her that he was getting help? Like, you need help. So you asked an employee that you work with for help. You know, like, how hard is it to just say that I needed help? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they could have put some money aside for like a nanny or
Right.
a sitter
Just a chef.
or
Just to have dinner ready for you.
but you know, I would definitely pay for it if I could. So no, I put respect on it. Anyway, why didn't he just say something to his wife? That's all I was trying to say.
I feel like he did because he was posting stuff. But obviously she didn't believe him at all. So I feel like he's done some shady shit or straight up cheated before.
Or, you know, like she's grieving.
Hmm.
Maybe she's just not in her right mind, you
Could
know?
be.
Could be. Whatever the case, she had too much smoke for the wrong person. She called me on Facebook and started crying and apologizing. I told her it was all okay not to tell her husband and all that, but I still see her at work now that she's home again, and it's always super, super awkward. I generally chalked it up to her being stressed to the gills and on edge, but ever since, I've been extremely paranoid about my behavior and how I'm coming off to other people. I really do not want to come off as someone who would want to help a man cheat on his wife while she's burying her mother. So now I've wound up double thinking almost everything I say, how often I offer help to people, how much help I give, how I come off if I ask for help, what it means if I agree to hang out with someone outside of work, and how their families might view it. All of it. It really sucks because I genuinely just really wanted to make things easier on them. I can't even vent to anyone in real life because almost everyone I know works here and would instantly recognize who I was talking about.
Damn.
But maybe that's what you need, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this is just nasty, honestly, truly, because you went out of your way to help somebody, but then she creates, so like that alone might be seen as an HR issue, you know what I'm saying? Because you offered help outside of work instead of them coming to leadership and asking for help, and then leadership organizing something on their behalf. And then so there's one thing, and then two, it's like messed up though that, like, again, she created an HR issue by coming to you on social media when that wasn't the case at all.
And she's a higher up.
And she's a higher up, so it's just like really nasty. And then just I think that if she gets HR involved, it's not going to help her, like in the most basic sense, because everybody knows how HR be sometimes. But like, this is one of those times where I'm just like, I don't know if it'll actually help her, because she also could have been seen as doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So the male colleague should have been open with his wife. That's what we said. That's what we said. I said the male colleague should have been open with his wife. Anyway, and let her know he needed support. It sounds like the wife was experiencing deep grief and shocked to see a woman around her family. The wife should have messaged the husband. However, her emotions would have been all over the place. If people were as kind as you, the world would be a better place. Right. Oh, I did see some of these comments earlier before we started reading. I downvoted this person that says the OP should cook dinner for the grieving wife a few times. And I'm just like,
she wasn't there.
But even still, why are we
Putting it on her still?
No, like, yes, but like, why are we, what is it called? Gifting bad behavior? Rewarding bad behavior. That was not the OP's fault.
Right.
So now she gets dinned in? Bitch, fuck you. No. You don't get to accuse someone of having an affair with your husband and then get a meal cooked by an innocent party. That's being a doormat. Yo, like, for real, though. That's being a doormat.
Bro, people on Reddit are so fucking weird. Remember I told you about that story? It's like the OP's 22 years old and recently was talking to their mother about their shitty ass dad. And the mother was like, "Oh, you remember that trip we went on when y'all were 10 or something? And we all slept in that hotel room? Your dad and I were divorced already at that point." And they were like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, we got divorced like 2 years earlier, but we're like just keeping up appearances for you guys." And it was fucked up. And on that trip, they were all sleeping in the same hotel room, and he forced her to have sex with him as payback for paying for this trip with all the kids in the room. And so I was like, who the fuck does this? And then people in the comments were like,
Did you see how I was like, I was very focused on those comments, and then I logged in at the wrong moment of Slappa's.
people were like,
I heard about that though. Yeah.
She chose to do that for the trip. Nothing's wrong with that. And I was like, okay, that's coercion. And also, you have sex with kids in the room? Like,
right.
You do that?
Right.
And then people were like, that's normal everywhere around the world. And I was like, do you do that? Every person who argued about that, I asked, do you have sex with kids in the room? Because they were... and they were really trying to argue, like, this is some dumb shit, bro. Like, oh, you should just cook her a meal because she accused you of cheating.
Yeah, like the comments are going in. People are like mistaking boundaries with just being a jerk.
Right.
They're saying that she could do an icebreaker by cooking a meal. Why is the onus on the OP? Why is it her fault?
Why should the wife not, like, apologize and be like, let's talk about it over dinner?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm a higher up. Let me take you to a nice fancy
Right.
dinner, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are y'all talking about? I'm sorry. I mean, like,
so
I get what they're trying to say, that they do need to work through it. I get that. But but not by bending over backwards, not by making yourself more available, making yourself like, because what if the OP does do that, and then the wife is like, why are you trying to make this up to me? She already took the good gesture in the wrong way in the first place. What makes you think she's going to take it correctly the second time? What if she thinks that the dinner is a way to apologize for sleeping with her husband or something? You don't know. The onus is not on the OP. The onus is on the person who laid the accusation. When you fucking accuse somebody and you're loud and wrong, you have to be even louder in your apology. The onus isn't on the OP. Y'all suck. I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm not happy right now. I'm a little wild. I'm a little wily right now, so sorry about that. But anyway, all right, let's keep going. Slappa found this insane story. Trigger warning? Trigger warning. Yeah.
Am I the asshole for punching my stepdad after he just grabbed my ass? So I, 15 male, have divorced parents because my mom cheated on my dad when I was about 10 with the man who's now my stepdad, which obviously already made me resent him. I have 2 step-siblings and 1 half-brother because of it too, who I am close with. So yesterday, I took a shower since it was a hot day, and I came back from MMA practice, and my stepdad just grabbed my ass. Not a brush, not some slip-up. Straight up grabbed and squeezed my ass. So I punched him, which resulted in him breaking his nose. Okay. I never wanted that. It was just a response to someone grabbing my damn ass. My mom knows why and is mad at me and tells me I should lighten up since we're both men and that's normal. No, that's not. Even my siblings are on my side and called him disgusting and refused to visit him in the ER. I admit, punching him was wrong, but it was just a reflex since it's not the first time he was inappropriate. If I could, I wouldn't, even if he deserved it. Are they saying they've been being abused and they can't talk about it?
Or are they saying that it's a reflex? If I could stop my reflexes, I would, but I couldn't. Maybe, like, he's only 16, so, like, he probably doesn't have the greatest grasp on sentence structure. But even still, I think what he's trying to say is that I admit punching him is wrong, but it was just a reflex. If I could have stopped it, I would have, but I didn't, or I couldn't, and he deserved it. You know what I'm saying?
So am I the asshole for breaking his nose on accident in response to him grabbing my ass? Edit. Thanks already for all the advice and kind words. I haven't thought about a police report to be honest, but I'm gonna make one as soon as possible and call maybe a friend to stay with for a few days.
That is crazy. And you can't even say that because, like, even if the genders were reversed, what, like, if the OP was a girl, everybody would be calling for blood,
Right.
you know? And also, why is the mom not caring? Your son told you that he doesn't like being touched that way. Why is this man touching your son like that?
And he says it's not the first time.
And
he
it's
was
not the
inappropriate. That's
first
what I'm
time.
like, hold up. Flawless execution, no notes, 10 out of 10. Not the asshole. Maybe if someone had punched him earlier, he would have figured out that normal people keep their hands to themselves.
Right.
If he tries it again, please report it after you repeat your previous response. If he tries a second time, he wants to groom you and he isn't being subtle.
It sounds like they're already doing that.
Right. Probably won't try again since the first time resulted in a broken nose. You should inform him that if he touches your siblings, he'll meet a similar fate.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I scrolled way too long for this. OP said
Right.
it was just a reflex since it's not the first time.
Right. Like, no one was talking about that.
OP should report it
are
now.
you okay? Like, are y'all good? Is he, like, doing shit?
Oh my gosh. Man, man, the way that male centered women hurt their boys and their girls. What the fuck? Y'all are insane. Crazy town. Crazy town. All right. Let's continue the chaos, okay? So, this one is a personal write-in. Remember that you can send your personal write-ins to us at vibesanddelights@gmail.com or just hit us up in Discord, Instagram, hit me up on Instagram, or if we're mutuals on TikTok, which I'm not mutuals with everybody with, for past reasons that y'all should already know about, just send me a message on TikTok too if we're mutuals on there. Or, like I said, Discord, email vibesandthelights@gmail.com, Instagram, or just let me know. I just figured out, let me know. All right. So I have this personal write-in and I'm really nervous to read this because it's been a while since I've been a little hard on somebody, and I'm so sorry in advance. Am I the asshole for not changing my wedding date? First and foremost, I thank you so much for writing in. And I always tell people that you should always remember to take everything that we're saying with a grain of salt because you know these people better than anybody ever could, okay? We're just giving our honest, unbiased opinion, okay? Because we don't know any of these people, all right? But we love you and we care, okay? But if it comes off harsh, just know that it's coming from a place of love, okay? Not from malice, okay? All right, let's keep going. So I'm going to try to tell the story in a completely unbiased way. This happened a few years ago, but to preface, I, 27 female, have a
It's
friend.
getting stormy at the start.
Yeah,
of the
it started.
story.
The storm is coming. The storm is turning
Foreshadowing.
up. The sirens are going off. It is thundering really bad. Like, so.
Let's keep going.
So I, 27 female, have a friend, 27 female, who got engaged shortly after I did. My friend has a weird thing about dates. She doesn't like to celebrate special occasions in the same month or close to the date that is associated with someone she doesn't like. Birthdays, anniversaries. Okay. I get that. You know, don't like sharing my birthday month. But, you know, it like, no, not my birthday month. I don't mean it like that. It's like, if I have a choice, I'm going to choose a date that's not in December, you know, because I have a hard time in December. If I am doing something big, I'm not going to do it anywhere close to our wedding anniversary. You know what I'm saying? Because those are dates that are really important to me. So, like, I get it. I get it, you know. Now, on to the Am I the Asshole? When my intended and I were first planning our wedding, we really wanted to have an October wedding, but things changed when we decided to have an outdoor wedding. We decided that instead to have a June wedding, and my friend, to save some money, decided to have a destination wedding and chose a December date. Oh, okay, I get it. Because, like, people aren't traveling in December.
You'll
Got
have
it.
less guests.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, I was like, June instead of October, it's gonna be hot. June is like the most like popular like wedding month. They were supposed to get married before us, and we were excited to join them on their big day. Unfortunately, about 6 months before we were set to get married, both of my pets got sick. One turned out to not be a big deal. The other got sick a few months after the first month and had to be hospitalized. It took everything from our savings, and we even had to use credit cards to pay the vet bill. We ended up paying about 10K between the two of them. Damn, that's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot of money.
I am so sorry you had to go through that. That's terrible.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't, if I'm being totally honest with you, I don't know if we could even afford that. You know what I'm saying?
Kate,
Like,
you're
yeah,
with a
like,
poor family.
yeah, I'm sorry, Keiki, but dang, like, that's crazy. I'm so sorry. During the time that our second pet got sick, my fiance and I decided to elope because even with the flight, airfare, and the elopement, it would have been 2/3 cheaper to do it that way than our original plan to have an outdoor wedding. We decided to go with our original plan and get married in December. I thought it was October. It says we really wanted to have an October wedding, but things changed when we decided to have an outdoor wedding.
And then they went to June.
And then they went to June, and now we decided to go with our original plan and get married in December. I don't know, friend. We put down the deposit to solidify the date, and I was so excited. About a month after choosing the date and amidst taking care of my pet, who was now on a crazy medication regimen, I got a call from my friend. And during that call, I told her that I'd been dreading this conversation with her because I knew it meant telling her that I would not be able to attend her wedding while simultaneously inviting her to mine. She seemed confused, and I came to realize that through my chaos of my pet being sick, I had forgotten to tell her that my wedding plans had changed. That's probably why you were dreading that conversation, friend. Like, you were saying that you were dreading the conversation. It kind of seems like you knew why. You know what I'm saying?
I get it though. When you're going through shit and you just can't talk to people and you're so you're drowning.
Yeah.
And then once you get out of it, you're like, God, I've been fucking just gone.
Yeah.
Like I haven't talked to anybody about anything.
Yes.
And I don't want to have to explain everything I just went through.
Yes, but sometimes you know how it is. You're always going to be the villain in someone else's story.
Of course.
So, while you were going through things, they were probably going through their own things that you didn't show up for. She seemed confused, and I didn't tell her. I'd forgotten to tell her that my wedding plans had changed. I told her the date that we had chosen, and it dawned on me how close they were.
Because they're both in December now.
I told her that she hopefully was okay with it. And since we were friends, I thought she would be.
Because she hates sharing. R.I.P. You're done. You're toast.
Ooh, I'm so sorry.
There's not much you could do about that one.
Ooh.
Really.
And that maybe to make up for missing the wedding, we could spend our anniversary together and travel somewhere. She seemed to be open to the idea, especially because this is what we did for our birthdays because they are so close, or so I thought. But it's different. That's why I retracted my statement about my birthday, because you don't get to choose when your birthday is. You just kind of have to deal with it. But when you get to choose your wedding date that she had paid for well in advance, you were going through something. You went from October to June. You went through a traumatic experience with your pets. You know what I'm saying? And then you switched from June to December when you previously said October. You know what I'm saying? So I can't help but feel like I understand where she might be coming from. A couple weeks later, through a text exchange, she told me that she was unhappy for hiding my wedding plans from her. I can see how she could feel like it was hiding, because that's what I was kind of feeling like why you're dreading this phone call, friend. And then she was upset that I didn't take her feelings into consideration when making my plans, and that making jokes about spending our anniversaries together was not funny. The text exchange got heated, and I ended up telling her that I didn't know what the fuck she wanted from me, and that I was sorry for not taking her into consideration, and that I didn't intentionally hide anything from her. But life had been chaotic, and I'd forgotten to tell her that plans had changed. That's also valid. She also knew how much I wanted a December wedding, and we haven't spoken since. But I still feel like I might be the asshole. I
All
kind of
right.
think you might be, friend.
You might be, and that's okay. Everybody is allowed to be an asshole. All right? You weren't an asshole on purpose.
Truth.
And
Absolutely.
that's the best way to be an asshole is just live your life, and if people think you're an asshole, that's fine. You know?
Well, I
You're
was
not
thinking,
going out of your way to hurt people.
right, I was thinking like intention
Right.
wasn't to hurt, but it landed, but it
But
did hurt.
But it's just a fact of
unfortunately.
life. When you're going through things and things start falling apart and you can't do what you were doing before, the collateral damage is you're being an asshole to people.
Yeah. I was going to say, when you're going through things, sometimes you end up being an asshole to those around you.
Like you can't burden, I don't know. You can't you don't got the spoons. You know what I mean?
Well, it reminds me of like what I was talking about with Infinity Train just yesterday. Yesterday, I posted a video about the show Infinity Train and how it's about grief and going through things. Well, in the show, you have a number that's designated to your hand, right? And in that show, when you are working through your grief journey, there's all kinds of grief. Okay, there's grief from losing a spouse, there's grief from losing a child, there's grief from losing your best friend, there's grief from losing the life that you used to have because your parents used to be married and now they're getting divorced. There's all sorts of grief. Okay, so when you get on the Infinity Train, you're assigned a number that's associated with your grief. The point of the train is that each train car is its own small universe in which you have to work through some sort of puzzle mentally or physically. So that's going to literally help you work through whatever grief brought you here in the first place. So the whole goal is to get your number from whatever to 0. Once it reaches 0, you get to leave the train and go back to your life that you used to live, right? Well, if you're on your journey and you decide to go back onto your old ways, then your number goes back up because you're being an asshole, because you're not going on your grief journey, because you're not doing the right thing, okay? And it could be unintentional. It can be a mistake, but it happened. It happens. You might have been an asshole here, friend. You might have really been an asshole here. I hate that this happened. I'm glad that it's like been some years removed though. So I'm glad you're not having to like, it's not like on the line like right now, like you're not
Right.
going through it. But I gotta say, like, this is just one of those times where that we might have just been an asshole one time, you know? Like, it
We've all
happens to
been
the best of
assholes,
us.
you know? Some people deserve you being an asshole to them.
Yeah.
So, like, you are an asshole to them, but you didn't want to be an asshole to them.
Yeah.
Like, you're not intentionally doing that.
Yeah,
Like,
you
were
didn't wake
just-
up this morning,
Right.
that morning, and was like, I'm gonna make my dog sick.
Right.
And
I'm going to be
fuck my friend.
consumed with panic about my pets and
Yeah,
spend thousands
you didn't
in
wake
debt
up to do
and ruin
that.
my own wedding plans just to fuck up her wedding. That's
Right,
what I wanna do.
right.
Like, what? No.
You didn't do that.
But she feels slighted. It's like
She
not a
feels
big
slighted.
deal. Like in reality, like it's her preference to not have to share a date with somebody. But
Yeah.
like
I get it.
you can share a date of like celebration with your bestie. If you can't do that, that's not really your bestie, kind of. So
Well, or maybe since their birthdays are so close, maybe she just wanted something to her damn self.
yeah, I get it. But like life happens.
It happens.
Man.
It happens.
If you can't roll with it with your friend, you don't probably need to be friends then.
We all have these fleeting thoughts. We all have these fleeting moments where we're just kind of jerks to somebody. But It happens. You didn't wake up to be an asshole, and I want you to hold on to that, okay? I know that this probably like comes to you in the dead of night, you know what I'm saying? Because it happens to, like, I literally have been waking up nonstop at 2, 3, and 4 in the morning, looking at my email, knowing damn well ain't nobody emailed me at 2, 3, or 4 in the
Right.
morning, and yet I still am awake, wondering what could I have done different? Should I have lied on my paperwork? Should I have not said anything to my TikTok community? Am I blocking my own blessings? You know what I'm saying? If she does come back, though, this is on her, unfortunately. Like, you know, like, while like she's gonna need to work through her emotions before y'all can even have a conversation, if she even wants to. And I don't blame her if she doesn't want to. You know what I mean? But regardless, remember to yourself that you did not set out to be an asshole. You didn't mean it. It happened. You are a good person, and that you know better next time, right? Just communicate, you know? But also remember, people have their own lives and shit happens. Okay, let's read one more story. I want a bonus story because we don't usually give people an asshole rating. So, like, I want to read one more pick me up. I did read this already on the Reddit Rainbow. So, I'm just reading it right here just because it's funny as fuck to me. Because, oh, how the turns have tabled. Oh, how the turns have tabled. So, grab your vibes and your delights and let's read this story called My Husband Wanted a Divorce Until He Lost His Job. Am I the asshole to follow through with filing? No. I ain't even read nothing, but you said he wanted to file for divorce and now he's changing his mind because he ain't got no job no more?
You know what, babe? I love you again. I got some bad news, sweetie. Let's go on a date. Let's catch up. Let's reconnect. Let's get back together for the kids. Come on, babe.
Get out! Get out! Be like the Beast in like Beauty and the Beast, where she was up in the room where she was supposed to be. He was like, "Get out! Get out!" Holy shit! Like, get out! Anyway, so my husband, 34 male, and I, 38 female, have been married for 6 years, together for 9. We had our ups and downs, but the biggest down is how he speaks to me. I just had our son 1 year ago. When I was 10 months postpartum, he was telling me I was fat and lazy and all I do is take care of the baby and work.
What? How is that lazy at all? All you do is a job
All you do
and care for life of my child.
All you do is your business. All you do is take care of business.
All you do is what an adult human is supposed to do for their baby. Lazy.
Lazy.
What else is... What?
Not our same hitters.
We're vibing.
Right, I think they done kicked in. Mm. As I still had baby weight.
Baby weed.
As I still had baby weight, navigating new routines, work, and caring for our baby, and 4 other children while working 40 hours a week.
There's 4 others?
On my birthday, he demanded I not leave the house or he would divorce me. Just so happened, it just so happened my daughter had an appointment at UCLA for her teeth the morning of my birthday, so I still took her, right? Needless to say, he didn't even say hello, he didn't say hello to me and slept in his game room. He's been sleeping there since. It's been 2 months. He told everyone he was divorcing me, spoke to an attorney, and everything before even telling me he wanted divorce. So wait, so
he
he's
was already
been
doing it before he even told her.
Right. So he was
just gonna do it.
So you took care of your child on your birthday. On your birthday, you took care of your child
at my birthday party on my birthday,
right,
with my birthday child's appointment on my birthday.
Right. Right. And then he proceeded to sleep in a different room for 2 months, and he's been telling everybody that he's divorcing you, spoke to an attorney and everything before even telling me that he wanted a divorce. He told me I was not the prize. I'm almost 40 and have 4 kids, 3 who are minors. Where's the adult child? I bet you they gonna lay the smack down on them. My mouth really wants to make the S sound.
Oh,
Yeah. me anyway. Sorry. Anyway, so he said he's the prize. He's in his prime and he makes good money. And any women would love to be in my shoes
and take care of his kids.
He even went as far as inviting his baby mother into the house to visit while I was out. Get out!
He's on that Red Pill podcast.
He absolutely is. Fast forward, he loses his job and told me to wait to move. He then starts talking nicer to me and acting different than before.
Love you
I
so
told
much.
him I was still moving out and going forward with separating
Yeah.
because his actions did not align with someone who wanted to be with me. It feels more like I'm his only option at the moment. Now he's going around saying I'm a gold digger.
After he lost his job?
After
Where's the gold?
and leave as soon as he loses his job. He's saying he wanted to try and make it work, but I'm the one choosing to leave all his friends and family. So am I the asshole for following through with what he initiated? Listen, his timeline 2 months ago, he told everybody he was finna leave you 2 months ago. 2 months later, he lost his job. How does that math? And then, hold up. We remember, hold up. The math ain't mathing. Because how are you 34 in your prime, but she's 38 and not in her prime? You do realize how close y'all are together, right? Where that math at? Listen, I know I'm not good at numbers, but them numbers is kind of close together.
4 is really different.
4 plus 4 equals 8, bitch. Like, like that is only 4 away. You are not the prize. Or if she's not the prize, then you're not the prize. But let me tell you something. I'm 35. How old is you?
36.
You finna be 37. He's the prize too. I'm the prize. OP is the prize. He's not the prize. Because he's just an asshole, okay? Your age isn't what makes you prizeless. It's these fucks that are prizeless, okay? The way that they, like, lower women's, like, worth, like, by their own logic. After they sleep with women, they lower their value, Don't sleep with men that do that, don't do that. All right, stop is tired of me. So, all right, guys. I love you guys so much. Keep your head up. Keep thinking about us. One more thing to the person who wrote in the story. Do you act like that silly fucking guy? Do you act like a fucking asshole? Do you act like a twat? Do you act like this and then hide hands whenever you get caught? Do you do this? Then you're not an asshole, okay? You're all right. You just fucked up one time.
You can be the asshole and not be an asshole.
Ooh, slap over here doing sermons. But all right, cool. I'm gonna go sit outside in the rain. So I hope you guys have a really good day. Keep your heads up. Keep us in your thoughts. And we'll let you guys know. Have a good day. Bye. We love you.
Bye.